Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for the Q&A for The Amazing Adventures of Awesome. I hope everyone enjoyed the film, and please remember that this film is available for an audience award, so don't forget to rate it as well as all the other films you watch. I want to start off by thanking our major sponsors and as well as the film sponsors Kim and Jerry Scott. We're excited to have director and writer Allison Brownmore with us, and thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Not at all. Where are you joining us from, actually?
From London.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to start out and say, like, the film is really beautiful and it's very delicate. I love how the colors just seem to like set you into a calm kind of trance as you watch it. I wanted to know more about the color palette, why you have chosen like such a delicate color palette.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Thank you for saying that, by the way. It's an
No.
interesting. Yeah. I mean, I really wanted the film to feel not to feel quite distant from what a sort of typical autism kind of film was, and I feel like there's quite a lot sort of out there in the media where you're actually it's quite dark and you're supposed to feel kind of sympathetic towards the autistic character, and I really wanted to kind of turn that on its head because that's my son is autistic and it's really not my experience, and so I wanted the film to yeah just feel really sort of optimistic and light, and I wanted the audience to feel really enamored by the world. So the color palette for me was like a really big part of that.
Also, with that, like, why did you choose to make all the other children invisible?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
I mean,
that.
it was a bit scary at first. I thought, am I really going to make a film with like all invisible characters? But yeah, I mean, I just felt it was really important because again, I wanted the film to be kind of through the lens of my son and the way that he sees things, and he sees things really different to how a neurotypical child would see them. So for example, if someone comes to the front door and they're holding a book, we might say, hi, how are you? How did you get here? How was the weather? And he would literally just see the book. It's almost like they don't exist as the book exists. So I wanted to, so I wanted to show that. And I also wanted to kind of highlight the connections that he has, his true connections, which are more with nature. So they're more with things in nature or animals. And so for him, it's not about people, his real true connections. It's more about his kind of nature connections.
All right. And yeah, with that being said, like towards the end of the film, there's like this true connection with like the caterpillar, and as they walk through the forest, everything starts to sprout alive. Is there a certain instance where you kind of got this inspiration from?
Yeah, I did. So that moment is actually what made me create the whole film. And I was at a music festival with my son, and he was about it was about 6 years old. So he'd only just recently been diagnosed with autism. So for me, it was kind of a bit of a tumultuous time. He didn't present at the time with what we thought autism was, because he's very sort of kind and empathetic and socially motivated. So it was a bit of a shock. Anyway, so we're down at a music festival, and we're walking down this in this forest along this path, and he was walking ahead of me, and there was something had finished, a music band, something had finished up ahead. So there's lots of people sort of streaming towards us, and they were all sad and like a bit downtrodden. It was kind of late at night, and he just started high-fiving them, which is something that he loves to do. And because I was behind him, I could see the aftermath of the high five, and they came alive, and they were really excited and laughing and happy, and it just changed everything for me, because I thought, actually, this is, there's nothing to be sad about. He has an amazing gift. And so that was kind of the impetus for the film. And yeah, so I didn't, so I made the trees come alive in the film. I didn't,
Yeah.
the people kind of became trees, basically.
Yeah. I mean, it's whatever surrounding he's at. I guess it can like spark joy around them. Also, as he's seen the film, what are his thoughts on the film?
Yeah, I've made him watch it far too many times.
Okay.
Yeah, he has seen the film, but he hasn't seen the text cards at the start, so he doesn't know that the film is all about him. But because he's not aware of his diagnosis yet,
Okay.
he's not quite so aware. So I think that'll come probably maybe later this year. But there's a moment where the character jumps off a skateboard, and he skateboards, so I filmed him jumping off the skateboard, and every time he gets to that part in the film he says, oh my god, this is my bit, and I'm like, okay, it's not your the whole film's your bit. One day we'll get that. But yeah,
Okay.
I think he'll be super pleased when he finds out.
All right. Oh, that's
Yeah.
really sweet. Um, I wanted to talk about I guess like right before the skateboard bit, I see like lots of people are talking, and the main character kind of can't kind of digest sounds as well, and kind
Yeah.
of stomps a hole into the ground. Could you speak
Mm.
on that? Like what exactly is going on in the character's brains?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite, autism, obviously there's a spectrum, but it's quite familiar for autistic people to find noise overwhelming, and not necessarily lots of noise. It could be the type of noise, how close it is. There's lots of different reasons. Um, and I put that into the film because I remember there was a moment where, he had a birthday party and he was really enjoying himself, but he couldn't handle the noise. And so in that birthday party scene, I wanted to show him that her having a good time, like she was enjoying herself, she was there, but at the same time, it can just quickly get too much, and that she needs kind of an exit from that. But it's okay. Like, it wasn't like a sort of big dramatic moment. It was just like, you know what, I need to get out of here, and off I go, and that's fine.
Yeah, I definitely love that they go down the hole and then they're almost like surrounded by the nature because like leaves start to just
Mm-hmm.
fall throughout the whole time. I really love that. I mean, it's hard to not get super personal about this film because it is extremely personal.
Yeah.
But I would also like to talk about the hands that kind of outstretch from the outside of the
Mm.
scene, where we're like assuming it's a parent's hands or they're like caregiver. Um, what is your idea over the hands and like their role in their life?
Yeah, I
The
mean,
baby's life.
that was again, it was kind of difficult for me because obviously in this situation I am the hands. And I guess I wanted to, the hands are quite pushy throughout the film. I mean, there's one instance where the hands are the teacher and then they're helpful because they turn the book around, but generally they're pushy. And I guess that was kind of reflecting on my experience. I was, and I still do struggle with that, that idea that, I don't have a neurotypical child and I want them to still succeed in the world and fit in with the world. And so
Yeah.
it's kind of like that push pull that, that the caregiver has to let the child be themselves, but also you want them to, do well. And so yeah, so I guess, yeah, that was it. It was, and then there's a moment where, and then the child pushes back and says, you know what, actually this is enough. And my son hasn't got to that point yet, but I feel like it's probably
Okay.
gonna come.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, as
Yeah.
he gets older, what is he, 9 right now?
Yeah, he's 9. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's getting up there. So as
He's
he
getting there.
becomes a
Yeah, but I
teenager.
think, yeah, and I think it's interesting because it's something that, that we have to learn as well, when you're in the position of looking after an autistic child, that we have to kind of, let our expectations go and just let them be themselves. So yeah, it's definitely something that's yeah,
Yeah,
constantly being worked on. And
exactly.
yeah.
I guess I think another point when the hands come out are if I'm not mistaken, at the beginning, where the baby's like in the crib, like
Mm.
in let's say like a heavenly type of space or something. And we see that their eyes are open and they're trying to like close their eyes.
Mm.
I guess I'm kind of wondering like, is it almost like a spiritual thing of the way he or I guess a way autism can like open your eyes to different things in the world. Is that what it's kind of alluding to, or what exactly?
That's not at all what it's alluding to, but that's
Okay.
great. I'll totally say that. Yeah, no, I mean, it's interesting. Lots of people see so many different things with the Sky Nursery scenes, but no, actually, that was more of that idea again that the hands are caring. They're not pushy hands at that point. They're caring hands. But it's that moment of conforming. All the other babies are sleeping, and this is the baby that's not sleeping, and it's like, come on, go to sleep, baby. but I guess it's at that point where, you know, when the children are small, you don't necessarily realize that there's something different about them. You're just trying to get them to be like all the other babies, and
Yeah.
yeah,
But it's only a small difference, and as it goes on, it grows. The differences
that's
kind of
right.
grow. Yeah.
That's
I
right.
I don't know. I just definitely love the little baby scenes throughout the throughout the film, especially like when it goes all the way back to the end. I feel like I'm jumping around for the film, but it's because it's such a great like art piece. And then it's also cyclical, you know, it ends almost the way that it begins. Um, but what I do like about the ending is that the little caterpillar type butterfly thing that kind of joins the main character halfway through the film, it lands on the last baby, and who also has their eyes open, and then it kind of like goes to sleep afterwards. um I wanted to know exactly what it meant to you, and then before I start pushing my own idea onto it.
Yeah, I mean, lots of people come back with a lot of different interpretations actually at the end, which is really nice. I really like that it's kind of this. There's an openness to it. Um, for me, I wanted, you know, the only time that she speaks in the film is when she communicates to the little to the little bug, and she kind of whispers to it at the end, and then it goes up. And the idea of that was that the bug was then going up to another autistic child, and then just letting them know, you know what, it's fine, don't worry about it, and then they go to sleep.
That's so sweet. Okay. I
Yeah.
really enjoy that. All right. That's around, I'll say that's around what I was thinking as well. But yeah, I I really enjoy that part. Yeah, I guess with that being said as well, why did you choose not to have them speak only to, I guess, themselves? Because is the caterpillar, what does the caterpillar mean, I guess?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I think it's, you know, again, it's just kind of representing that connection with nature. And so I only wanted her to be seen speaking with the bug because, you know, again, that's just kind of the experience of my son. My son, he he has pet chickens, and he's he's probably has a stronger connection with them than he does with the children at school. He's just so, you know, drawn to them, and yeah, so I wanted, yeah, I really wanted that connection to be really strong.
that's beautiful. I hope to I hope to see another one in the future about chickens as well
Oh gosh,
included.
it might happen. It might happen.
Actually, with that, are you working on any new projects right now?
Yeah, I am actually. Just started working on my next film, which again is going to be quite personal, but not about my son this time. So
Okay, okay.
yeah, something a bit different.
All right, so we'll be waiting for that then.
Yeah.
Is it all being done during, actually, was this film done during
During
quarantine?
lockdown?
During
No,
lockdown.
I actually just finished it before lockdown started.
Oh,
So yeah, this is a great time though to be making films. I think we're going to see an explosion over the next couple of years, from the output of this time. So yeah,
definitely.
it's good to be starting the next one now when we're actually stuck at home and there's nothing else we can do.
Yeah, especially animation. I know that many other people are shooting film with with
Yeah.
actual like live action, and that is kind of rough for them. But
Yes.
how is the experience of shooting, I guess, animation during this time, during
Yeah, I
lockdown?
mean, I think you're right. I think there's probably going to be a lull in live action and like an explosion in animation. Yeah, I mean, I think I just think there's so much space now for everyone to be creating, and also time now for people to try new things, because we just got more time on our hands to play around.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for having me at the festival too. It's awesome.
Not at all. Thank you for your amazing film. All right.
Thank you. All right. See you later.
Goodbye.
Bye.